Hi everyone, it's Nan here and I'm back with another process video, and this is part of my Hey Little Magpie creative team layouts. This month I got the Jillibean social soup and also the basic grey Kelly Perky line. And here you'll see I've picked a piece of that Jillibean soup paper for my background. The collection is very much around social media and kind of computers and internet, and this board, well, the background of it is like a circuit board, but I decided I'm going to use this for a travel layout because in my head it could also possibly look a bit like a public transport map, but I kind of just like the colours as well. I did struggle a little bit using this collection actually because the colours were quite cream based and quite muted, and my main struggle was finding photos that I had printed and wanted to scrap that would kind of work with that. Here you'll see that I've taken 4 photos which are not really particularly astounding photos, but they are all from my trip to America, and these are all from San Francisco. And as I done a while back, I'm now kind of getting to the point where I'm completing this album and I want to reflect back on the trip, 2 years later, how I feel about it, what I remember, what particularly stands out. So this is a layout which is going to hold some journaling, which is me reflecting on that time and what I remembered. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that when I was in San Francisco, that it absolutely chucked it down with rain. I had a migraine. It was not the best kind of sort of sightseeing opportunities really. We were only there for a couple of days, and there's kind of a lot of regrets of stuff that we didn't get to cover because I was a little bit cranky and wet, and you'll also know if you watch my channel that I had a small shoe issue when I was on this holiday, and ended up almost getting trench foot walking around San Francisco because I had holes in my shoes. I've just pulled out these little flashcards that went with the social soup collection. There are lots of different phrases in there, and I really like those, so I wanted to just add those on there. I decided to pull out this piece of paper from the Kelly Perky collection. I really struggled with that collection. I don't really like it, but I have done some other bits for the blog post this month, and you'll see they were more sort of decor projects, so they do come in useful for that. So what I did is I just cut out the actual skyline from that piece of paper, and you'll see that I've placed them around the layout, and I like papers that I can use for embellishments. So that's how I really enjoyed using that collection. I then cut up this piece of pink graph paper, and this is just from an old Simple Stories collection that I had around. I decided that these cream-based flashcards really were not working, so I'm just taking out my bubblegum pink dilutions, and I'm just going to spritz them to make them sort of blend better in the layout. And yes, it's not perfect spraying, I didn't want to cover them all, but actually it stops them looking so stark on the layout, even though, as I said, a lot of the other collection is the cream base, so it would have worked okay, but just not on this layout. So I'm just drying those off with my heat gun because that mist, of course, was very damp, and I do decide that I'm going to edge everything with my black ink, and it was a bit of a pain to cut out those skylines, but I did find it quite rewarding at the end. And I kind of go in, I kind of normally pile stuff up that I know I want to fussy cut, and I'll sit there and do all those, and you'll see them off to the side there. I really do recommend the American Crafts scissors. I really get on well with fussy cutting with these, so I was very lucky. These were a gift from a friend, but they are in the store in Hey Little Magpie, so do go and check them out, or see if you can find them, because I really enjoy them and they're great for this kind of detail work. So Using the black ink, it's kind of pulling everything together because, as I said, this one is kind of a little bit of a mismatched layout. I decided to add some pink onto the layout because it kind of, was then going to tie everything in together. And I like how it has worked on top of that paper. It kind of brings in another colour. And I'm then adding some black mist over the top, and again this is just going to help things sort of all tie in together. Again, I am just going to dry that with my heat gun, and it does kind of curl a little bit. I did spray the mist quite close, so that is kind of a bit of a downside because it does pull, but I do really like how that came out in the end. So I'm now sticking down my photo collage, and after I'd done this, I realised I kind of made a bit of a boo-boo because I actually wanted to create a pocket behind my photo cluster because that's where I wanted to stick my journaling. Well, silly old me, didn't think about that and just stuck it down. So you will see me struggle about a bit and actually pull that back up because I do want to be able to tuck a journaling card in behind there. So I'm now looking at where I'm going to place the little embellishment clusters, and I do just cut a little flag banner bit in the bottom there just because it just adds a little bit of interest. I'm aware that there's quite a sort of a stark sort of ending to that skyline piece, so I'm just going to use again another little pink piece with a banner cut in there just to top that off, and I do kind of have to play about so it doesn't look too weird with where the photos are placed. And again, I'm wearing a bright pink coat in these photos, so it does kind of work with them, even though the photos were all kind of quite dark because, as I said, it was absolutely chucking it down for rain. I've got these older Alison Craft photo corners. I really love these pattern photo corners, and I did pick these up in the sale from the shop, and I really like them, and they just add a little bit of difference, than the normal plain coloured ones. So I'm just sticking those down and then just using my wet glue to stick some of those clusters down to the actual photos. I have the sticker sheet here that came with the collection, and I'm just looking for any elements that will go with that, and so I'm picking up some of these turquoise stars. And I'm also using some of the green ones, which is going to pick up the photo mat and also the colour that I'm going to back the whole layout on. And stars are kind of just a good icon to use. I also pull off a small geotag as well. I am going to be placing my title there at the bottom of the layout, so I know I need to leave that space pretty clear. These are the sort of wooden gem kind of, I think they're called wooden nickels, I don't know, I might have made that up. But they are beautiful, I absolutely love them, so I'm going to be adding a few of those to the layout. Here you'll see I realised that I didn't leave a pocket, so I am having to just use a little bit of scrap paper there to stick on some of the adhesive that I used on the back of the photo, so that wasn't going to stick down completely, and I could then stick a journaling card behind there. I'm also pulling some other bits that I had on my desk. This is from the Fancy Pants Meology sticker set, and I really love those sticker sets, and they're like 99p, so it's a total bargain. And then just pulling in a little bit of washi tape, again just to pull some of the turquoise up as well. And I am going to be fussing around trying to get that under some of the layers, because as always you think about these things when you're halfway through the layout. And I've just stuck a little bit there at the top as well, so that you will be able to see that when I put the journaling card in also. I am just using one of the journaling cards from the Amy Tangerine +1 collection, and again I'm just putting a little bit of that washi tape on the top there to help you to be able to pull that out of that pocket, and again it's just going to help bring in that turquoise colour. So as you can see, I'm just kind of working there and trying to get that pocket to match, but also when it's in the pocket I want it to add to that top cluster so it doesn't look too weird. And I'm going to be left with a little sort of weird blank spot, so I will end up colouring that in as well. I'm now going through to find some font for my title, and I am going to shorten the title because I don't have all of the letters that I need, and it's just going to be to remember San Fran. I could have used a smaller font to put Francisco, but I decided to just go with it, and this is going to go at the end of the album, so it's not like someone picking up would have no idea what San Fran meant, because there'd be many layouts about San Francisco as well. These smaller tile letters actually came in with the collection pack from Jillibean Soup as well, and they work really well with that photo mat and also the page mat as well. And they're a really great size, so, and again they're quite cheap, and if you like me, I do have an abundance of different tile stickers to use on my layouts. So I'm just sticking those down and placing them so they look right at the bottom there. And then I'm just adding another little bit of title down there at the bottom, which I think San Fran Day, I think is what I ended up putting. I'm then just mounting it up on this piece of paper. And there again you can see the background paper, which I do end up doing a layout with that actually, my next layout. I am just using a little bit of washi tape to stick that down because I did end up cutting quite a lot off the back of that piece of paper. So just to make it a little bit more stable I use some washi tape. I am just edging that card in black ink, and then I spritzed it with some pink where I had that little gap and it was showing behind the cityscape. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't so stark and white, so I just took my pink mist again, which I used on the background, and spritzed that out, and actually that works really well, so when it's tucked behind there it doesn't look too odd. I decided as I'd sprayed it in one corner I would just then spray it in the other couple of places just to add to it, and then when I journal over it with my black pen it's perfectly fine and you can see everything. So that is that layout. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and do watch my other videos and go and check out the blog post which I've listed below. So thank you very much, guys, and see you all again soon. Bye!